Digital communication relies heavily on stream ciphers. We interact with them every day, most notably in the architecture of legacy GSM cellular networks that powered devices like the Motorola StarTAC. Under the hood, this phone's encryption hardware operates on 3 core streams. Your voice is digitized into a plaintext stream, represented as X sub I. This pairs with a generated keystream, S sub I, inside a central encryption block, which outputs the scrambled ciphertext stream, Y sub I, over the airwaves. The encryption operation happening inside that block is mathematically defined as modulo 2 addition. In hardware terms, this is a standard XOR logic gate. It simply takes the incoming plaintext bit and the keystream bit, compares them according to XOR logic rules, and spits out the result. Modulo 2 arithmetic has a unique algebraic symmetry. Addition and subtraction are the exact same operation. The algorithm to lock the data is identical to the algorithm used to unlock it. The receiving cell tower simply feeds the incoming ciphertext and its own copy of the keystream back through the exact same XOR gate to flawlessly recover the original plaintext. The XOR operation itself offers zero mathematical protection. It is merely a conduit passing bits from one state to another. The entire security apparatus of this communication system rests exclusively on the cryptographic strength and unpredictability of that generated keystream sequence. To achieve true information-theoretic security, a system requires a true random number generator, or TRNG. These generators rely on physical, highly unpredictable processes, like measuring thermal noise or capturing the mechanics of a flipping coin. If you take a truly random sequence of bits from a TRNG and use it as your keystream exactly once, you create a one-time pad. This is the only cipher in existence mathematically proven to be unconditionally secure. Unconditional security means the encryption cannot be broken by raw computational power. Even if an attacker possessed infinite state-level computing resources to test every possible key, they would only generate every possible message of that length, with no way to verify which was the original. But the one-time pad carries a severe logistical constraint. The keystream must be exactly as long as the message itself. Encrypting a 400-megabyte file requires securely distributing a 400-megabyte, truly random, entirely non-reusable key to your recipient before communication even begins. If you violate the rule and reuse a pad, the security collapses. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg communicated with Soviet intelligence using one-time pads, but a shortage of key material led their handlers to reuse portions of the sequence. Cryptanalysts recognized the overlap, read the intercepted messages, and secured their convictions for espionage. Distributing massive, single-use physical keys is impossible for modern networks. Engineers are forced to substitute theoretical perfection for physical viability by utilizing pseudo-random number generators. A PRNG takes a small, easily shared secret seed and mathematically stretches it into a massive, deterministic keystream that mimics randomness. The hardware solution of choice for these generators is the Linear Feedback Shift Register, or LFSR. It requires very little physical space on a microchip. The design begins with an array of M flip-flops, which are simple digital memory circuits, each holding a single binary state. The system is driven by a clock signal. With every electronic pulse, the stored bits shift exactly one position to the right. The rightmost bit falls off the end of the register, becoming the next output bit in the generated keystream. To prevent the register from simply emptying out, it utilizes a feedback network. Specific flip-flop outputs are tapped, summed together using XOR logic, and injected back into the leftmost flip-flop. This loop keeps the sequence running continuously. The specific combination of tapped flip-flops is controlled by multiplier variables, labeled P0 through PM-1. Think of these multipliers as physical switches within the feedback loop. A 1 closes the switch and includes that position in the calculation. A 0 leaves it open. This exact configuration of switches serves as the system's secret key. By configuring these switches according to mathematical rules known as primitive polynomials, engineers ensure the hardware cycles through every possible internal state. This creates a maximum period of 2 to the power of m-1 states before the sequence ever repeats. Over a span of millions of bits, this sequence passes standard randomness tests, exhibiting a balanced ratio of ones and zeros. But statistical randomness is not equivalent to cryptographic unpredictability. Passing a statistical test is an engineering metric to ensure a clean signal. The underlying linearity of the LFSR, the fact that its next state is determined by a simple addition equation, is a fatal vulnerability waiting to be exploited. To exploit this linearity, an attacker executes a known-plaintext attack. They do not need to guess what you are sending. Most digital files, from Word documents to network packets, begin with standardized, predictable file headers. If the attacker knows a tiny fragment of the original plaintext and intercepts the corresponding ciphertext, they can run them backward through the XOR gate. This instantly reveals the exact snippet of the keystream used for that segment. With a few keystream bits in hand, we abstract the hardware entirely. The LFSR circuit translates into a formal mathematical equation. The next bit in the sequence is equal to the XOR sum of the previous states multiplied by the switch variables. In this equation, the S variables are the keystream bits we just recovered. They are known values. The P variables represent the secret switch configurations holding the security together. They are the unknown targets. A fundamental rule of linear algebra dictates that solving for m unknowns requires exactly m linear equations. Since every new bit of captured keystream allows us to write another valid iteration of this formula, we simply write out m consecutive equations. To populate this matrix, the attacker only needs to capture exactly 2 m bits of the keystream. By doing so, they completely bypass the massive 2 to the power of m sequence length. The cryptographic challenge evaporates, leaving behind a basic algebra problem. Solving this system is computationally inexpensive. Using an algorithm like Gaussian elimination, the attacker performs straightforward row reductions on the binary matrix, simplifying the complex system down to the identity matrix. The math isolates the red P variables. The output tells us exactly which switches are closed with a 1 and which are open with a 0. The secret key is recovered. The attacker now possesses the precise architectural blueprint of the victim's keystream generator. They have everything they need to clone the exact machine sitting inside the victim's device. With the calculated p-values slotted into the cloned switches, the attacker simply supplies a clock signal. The duplicate machine runs forward, perfectly predicting every subsequent bit of the supposedly secure infinite keystream. Modern engineering mitigates this vulnerability by breaking the strict algebraic relationship. The A51 cipher used in later GSM networks combined 3 different LFSRs and implemented irregular, nonlinear clocking mechanics, ensuring the output couldn't be modeled by a simple matrix of equations. Hardware efficiency, long sequence periods, and statistical perfection mean nothing if the underlying architecture is linear. In cryptography, if a system can be expressed as a linear equation, it is already broken.